Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be another first impression review demo over a fairly new foundation in the drugstore, and I am pretty late in hopping on this train, but better late than never. But today I'm going to be doing a first impressions review over the Loreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. And I know that pretty much everyone's already done a review on it, but I've kind of been trying to stay away from buying new foundations because I've been tanning. I just got back from vacation, hence the dark skin, and it's just really hard for me to find a foundation color that matches me when I'm just fluctuating so much. So yeah, once again, I have a fan on me, different location, but I do have a fan on me because it is hot basically everywhere I go. So first I'm going to go ahead and read you guys the claims of this. This is a higher price foundation in the drugstore. It's like $12.99 depending on where you find it. I found mine at Walmart for like $11.99. So I'm in the shade 107 Fresh Beige, and I haven't opened this foundation. I haven't tried it. I haven't done anything with it. Hopefully it's the right shade. I did test it in the Walmart, so don't tell. So on the L'Oreal website, the description says, achieve a matte finish that won't fall flat with this airlight, long-wearing liquid formula. Lightweight and creamy foundation goes on smooth with a demi-matte finish that lasts up to 24 hours, hiding imperfections for a smooth, clear complexion. They do have 12 shades in this, which is pretty good for the drugstore, and they all seem to be fairly neutral, so I do like that. It does say it's oil-free, so I think that's awesome, and I really do like the packaging. I do like squeeze tubes compared to like the pour-out bottle crap. So without further ado, let's get started. So as always, I have moisturized my skin and primed just because that's something I always do, and if I didn't do it, it wouldn't really be a fair review of this. So I'm going to do what I usually do. So like most of my foundation reviews, I'm going to do one side with a sponge and one side with a brush just to kind of see which one gives the best coverage and stuff and which one I can recommend to you. So I'm going to go ahead and squeeze this out on my hand. So there's the color and the consistency. Hopefully this matches. This is it's a little yellow and it looks a little dark, but I should be able to work with it. As you can see, it's not super thick, but it's also not super runny either. It is kind of dripping down my hand just a little bit, so I would say the consistency is just kind of like a medium. It's not too thick, not too runny. So as usual, I'm just going to dot this on, and then I'm going to go in and blend it out with my brush and my sponge. And I always forget to point this out until after I've already dabbed the foundation on, but I don't have a whole lot to cover right now, but I do have just, you know, the everyday normal acne spots and scarring and stuff and kind of unevenness, so I guess we're just going to see how it covers that up. So I'm going to go ahead and go in on this side and start blending it out with my Real Techniques dampen sponge. So yeah, I've heard a ton of rave reviews about this foundation. Everyone acts like it is legit 24 hours, and I'm going to be checking back in throughout the day to kind of tell you guys how it's wearing and stuff. So that is pretty much the first layer. It was pretty easy to blend out. I can tell that it does dry a little bit faster, so hopefully I don't have a problem on this side with blending it out, but it pretty much covered everything. I'm impressed. So now I'm going to go in on the other side with the Makeup Geek face buffer brush and buff that out. So I hope the lighting's okay today. Hopefully you can still kind of see everything I'm doing because I can't get my ring light to work. Like every now and then it just will not turn on, and I've checked the batteries, I've changed the batteries, I've rotated the batteries. I just cannot get it to work all the time, and it really frustrates me. Okay, so there's the first layer, and by the way, I forgot to mention I do have combination oily skin. I do get a little bit oily in the T-zone, but it's nothing major. I'm more normal than oily. So right off the bat, I feel like the sponge gives more coverage. For some reason, the brush kind of sheared it out a little bit, which is really rare because usually the sponge shears out the coverage a little bit. But yeah, I can definitely tell that there is more coverage on the sponge side. I would definitely say this is a medium coverage, but a really good, strong medium. Very close to full. And I kind of wish I was breaking out a little bit more. I should have done this like 2 or 3 days ago when my face was going bonkers. But I would like to see how it layers and builds on itself. So even though I don't have a whole lot to cover, I'm still going to do that just to see if it gets cakey. So right off the bat, I can tell that it dries really fast. It's already setting. This side is a little more tacky where I just applied with a brush, but the side with the sponge is pretty much completely dry. It does feel really lightweight, so I do like that a lot. I hate thick, heavy foundations in the summer, especially because it's like, I don't need it. So I'm just going to go in and apply just a little bit more. I'm just squeezing out like, I don't know, just a squeeze. So there is the second layer with the sponge. So I'm just going to go ahead and work from the back of my hand on this side right here. Okay, so there is the second layer with the brush. It's super easy to blend out. It's super easy to work with. And it doesn't dry like too fast where you're like having to like go in super speed. I really do like this foundation so far. The second layer did kick it up a notch and brought it to pretty much full coverage. I'm going to bring you guys in up close and show you what it looks like all up close and personally. I do have my mirror right below me so I can kind of see what it looks like up close too. Now that I'm kind of getting a closer look at it, it kind of looks a little powdery, like it almost has like a liquid to powder finish. So right off the bat, if you have dry skin, I would not recommend this foundation because I can definitely tell that it looks very powdery on the side with the brush. And you probably can't see on camera, but up close, like I can see that it's like, it just looks very almost patchy. Let me just say, I do like take like a little eyebrow razor and I do shave my face with it just because it exfoliates and all that stuff, but it does accentuate the hair on your face, which is really weird because I usually don't have that big of a problem, and I just shaved my face a couple of days ago, so I don't have as much as I usually do. But even the side with the sponge looks a little powdery, and I don't have fine lines or anything. I do have expression lines and stuff like around my like in my parentheses, and in the parentheses I can tell that it's already kind of starting to settle in those. And I'm 21, so I don't have like bad expression lines or anything, but this is kind of weird. I'm just going to take my sponge and kind of pat around to see if this helps any, because honestly, like, I've heard so many good reviews about it. I just don't want to believe that it kind of looks like this, but I cannot get rid of this like patchy powdery spot on my cheek. From afar it does look really nice. I don't see any of that patchy or powderiness like I did up close, but you do have to take what it looks like up close into consideration too. It definitely is a demi matte finish. It's not like super duper matte, but it's just kind of bothering me how it looks up close. Maybe if I use a setting spray, which I don't want to use a setting spray, that just won't give me a true testament to the foundation, but I don't know what to do. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the rest of my face makeup because I do want to see how it keeps everything else on top of the foundation on, because I do think that's the best indicator for how long something actually wears. And I'll be right back to kind of do like a time check, and then we will carry on with the rest of the day. Okay guys, I'm back with the rest of my face on, but it still looks a little patchy and powdery and just a little heavy up close. It does look good from afar. Like, it looks really, really good. And some of you are probably thinking, wow, you're being extremely picky. I don't see anything wrong with it. But I'm telling you, up close, it's not what I expected. I expected a lot more out of this. But I'm going to continue to wear this throughout the day and hopefully check back in at least 2 or 3 more times. But if I can't get my ring light to work, then maybe only like 1 or 2. But right now it is about 2:37, so we'll say about 2:40, and I'm a little nervous. I feel like it's going to stay on all day long. I don't feel like I'm going to have a problem with the longevity of it. But with the cakiness and the settling into the fine lines and the powderiness and the heaviness, that's probably going to be a problem for me. But I will check back in about 2 or 3 hours. So I will see you guys then. Hey guys, welcome back to my second and most likely final check-in. It is 6:06 right now, so I've had this foundation on for almost 4 hours, and I know that's not a long time to test the foundation at all, but the thing is, like, I have no doubt that this foundation would stay on a lot longer. Like, every single review I've ever seen of this foundation talks about how long wearing it is, and it would probably last up for 24 hours if you kept it on that long, which I am definitely not going to do. But I've had a problem from like the get-go with how it looks. I just don't like the way this foundation looks on my skin, and I am extremely disappointed by it. I feel like I'm the only person on YouTube who has done a review over this foundation and hasn't liked it. I feel very alone right now. I feel like a one-woman army. So about 15 minutes ago, I did decide to spray one side of my face with setting spray just to see if it took away like the patchiness and the powderiness that the foundation was making my skin, but I can only see like a very, very slight difference. It's very patchy around my nose area. Like, it's almost like it's slipping off my nose, which is really, really weird because I don't have a super oily T-zone. But it's just like settling into like fine lines and expression lines, and in between my eyebrows where I have like expression lines from doing that, it's settling into those. This is definitely not a foundation for mature skin because it will settle into every single wrinkle, which I know a matte finish of any kind isn't really for mature skin. But, and I'm gonna say this again, from afar it looks pretty decent. Everything is still intact. My blush is still there, my highlight's still there, everything is still on top. I just don't like the way the foundation looks, and it may be because I applied 2 layers. Maybe this foundation is just one of those that one layer is like, whoa, you need to stop. Well, I'm going to continue to use this foundation and keep wearing it, and next time I try it, I'm only going to apply 1 layer to see if it still looks cakey and heavy. But like, it doesn't feel heavy, it just looks really heavy. I don't like it, and I feel really bad for giving this a negative review because I feel like this is like already a holy grail foundation to a lot of people. And if you have super oily skin, like extremely oily skin, then I'd say this is probably a gem for you. I would definitely say give this a go. But if you have dry skin, stay away from this. Or if you have, I don't know, if you have a lot of texture on your skin, stay away from this, because I feel like this emphasizes the texture on my skin. It also emphasizes the hair on my face. Let's just throw it out there. It kind of emphasizes the pores a little bit. I'm just so upset because I really wanted to like this foundation. I had such high hopes for it. I should have started this video earlier in the day, like earlier this morning instead of like 2 o'clock, but you knows I likes my sleep. So I will continue to wear this foundation a little bit and just try different techniques and different ways of applying it, and you know, applying less and all that stuff. And I'll definitely update you guys, if not in a video, then definitely on my Instagram. I do all kinds of product reviews and stuff on Instagram, but at this point I don't like it. I'm sorry. Let the makeup gods strike me with lightning. I'm sorry this is such a short impressions, but thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me today. Thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Mwah.